So there are certain functions that are necessary for life, and these functions are provided by organ systems. The first one, let me get a new pen here. So the first one is organization. And organization is basically the compartments that I told you about. The body is organized into those compartments, mainly the extracellular fluid and the intracellular fluid. And those compartments interact with one another. And they interact through one another through organ systems. Okay. The second thing is metabolism. So metabolism is all the chemical reactions that occur in the body. And some of these reactions build things up, and that's called anabolism. And other reactions break things down. That's called catabolism. Catabolism releases energy, which we need. And anabolism absorbs energy, requires energy to do. So the basic function of any organism is to bring in molecules that it can convert into fuel, energy, and build up its cells. All right, so we need to be able to get rid of old cells and build new ones and sustain our functions. All right, so we do that through, the digestive system, because we got to break down food, the respiratory system, because we need oxygen. We also need to get rid of CO2, and that brings us to wastes. Metabolism creates waste. So we use things like the respiratory system to get rid of that. We can breathe out CO2. We've got the urinary system that can get rid of wastes as well. All right, the third thing that is necessary for life is responsiveness. So we need to be able to respond to our environment. Okay, so we need to be able to respond to stimuli in the environment. And this occurs through, of course, the nervous system. And with that is also the endocrine system. Hormones. All right, so those two systems respond to stimuli and coordinate responses to those stimuli. The fourth thing is movement. Of course, movement of our bodies, manipulating the environment. So our bodies and also the movement of fluids inside the body. So internal fluid movement. And of course we have the muscular system to do that. The fifth thing is development. development and growth. And that is going to be controlled through the nervous system, the endocrine system, the digestive system. We have to be able to bring in fuel to do this. And then the last thing is reproduction. And that's reproduction, of course, the organism, to make new organisms, and also the reproduction of cells. Okay, so all of those things are needed for life. So how do we fuel those things? Okay, these are the things that have to occur between organ systems, or that organ systems do, so that we can have life. But there are certain things that we need in order to fuel these things. So, survival needs. So I'm going to kind of put this in something, separate that out a little bit. Okay, so survival needs. You need nutrients, right? You gotta have food, so that's like carbohydrates, proteins, fats. Those are the building blocks. Those are what we use, the body uses to build new cells, to get us fueled so we can do stuff. So we need nutrients. We need oxygen. All right, oxygen is key in metabolism. It is part of almost pretty much every chemical reaction that we do. It's also the final electron acceptor. So when we're making fuel in the form of ATP, that reaction requires the movement of electrons, and oxygen is the final electron acceptor, which allows that chemical reaction to continue to go. We need water. We're like 60% water. Okay, so, and water is part of basically every reaction in our body. It's the universal solvent. It's certainly the big solvent inside the body. Okay, so water is key. Without it, we die. And you can live only a day or two without water. You can live months without food, but you absolutely must have water. Another thing we gotta have is a normal body temperature. Your body has to maintain a normal body temperature so that reactions can occur. Extreme exchanges in body temperature denatures proteins. Our whole body is made out of proteins. So if those are being denatured, then they can't work, and our bodies can't work. So normal body temperature is key. We also have to have appropriate atmospheric pressure. And that has to do with breathing. Okay, so you can't really breathe that well on Everest, because the pressure is not enough that allows for air to be able to go into your lungs and to be released out of the lungs. There has to be a difference in that, a gradient for that to occur. So oxygen in and carbon dioxide out. Okay, so it's not just getting oxygen, but it's also getting rid of the waste, which is CO2 created by metabolism. So those are the necessary life functions, and those are the survival nutrients, the survival needs that we have to have in order for these functions to occur.